Hey everybody, welcome back or to the channel. My name's Mike, and today we're going to take a look at a heartbreaking story that took place in the early 1990s. It's about a young girl named Shanda Sharer, whose life was cut short in a very tragic way. This story is not only about her death, but also about the consequences of bullying, revenge, and the importance of understanding the impact of our actions. Shanda Sharer was born June 6, 1979 in Pineville, Kentucky. She moved to New Albany, Indiana with her family when she was a young girl. Shanda was a bright and happy child. She loved to play with her friends and was known for her friendly personality and big smile. She was a typical teenager who enjoyed life, but like many, she faced challenges growing up. During her early teenage years, Shanda experienced some difficulties at school. She had a close group of friends, but occasionally faced bullying from others. As she entered high school, Shanda began to explore herself more and discovered her sexuality. This led to her starting a relationship with another girl, which brought about mixed reactions from those around her. In the fall of 1991, Shanda fell in love with a girl named Amanda Heavrin. However, Amanda had been friends with another girl who also liked her. The girl's name was Melinda Loveless. Melinda was deeply affected by the breakup with Amanda and developed strong feelings of jealousy towards Shanda. Her feelings turned into hate, and she began to plot revenge against Shanda. Melinda was not acting alone. She had two friends, Laurie and Hope, who were also involved in the plan. Instead of talking to Amanda or Shanda about their feelings, they decided to take matters into their own hands. This was not just bullying. It turned into a dangerous situation that was escalating quickly. As the days went by, Melinda and her friends made a plan to confront Shanda. They were angry and wanted to hurt her because they felt rejected and betrayed. They decided to lure Shanda to a place where they could have a confrontation. The girls had a plan to scare Shanda, but they did not realize how serious their actions would become. On January 10th, 1992, Shanda was spending the night at a friend's house when the three girls approached her. They tricked her into thinking they wanted to talk and be friends. Shanda, believing she was safe, agreed to go with them. Little did she know about the terrible intentions that Melinda and her friends had in store. As Shanda followed Melinda, Laurie, and Hope, they drove her to a remote area. They took her to a place called the Old Farmhouse near the town of Jeffersonville. At first it seemed like they were going to talk, but things quickly turned violent. The girls began to verbally attack Shanda. They called her names and mocked her. Then the situation escalated even further. They physically assaulted her, and at that moment it became clear that Shanda was in serious danger. It is difficult to talk about what happened next. Melinda and her friends were extremely angry, and their hatred took over. They attacked Shanda with a knife, leading to an unimaginable tragedy. After being abducted and tortured by 4 teenage girls, Shanda was taken to a rural area where she was ultimately doused with gasoline and set on fire. Her death was a result of this brutal act. Shanda was only 12 years old when she lost her life that night. The actions of those girls were fueled by jealousy and rage. They made a choice that would change their lives forever and take the life of an innocent girl. It is essential to understand how bullying and hatred can spiral out of control, leading to terrible consequences. After the horrific act, the girls knew they had to do something to hide what they had done. They put Shanda's body in the trunk of their car and drove to a nearby dump site. They attempted to cover up their crime, but as we know, the truth always has a way of coming out. On January 11th, 1992, just a day after Shanda was murdered, her body was discovered. Law enforcement quickly began their investigation and soon learned about the involvement of Melinda and her friends. People in the community were shocked. How could this happen? How could young girls commit such a terrible act? The police started looking for answers in Shanda's death. They interviewed friends and family, piecing together what had happened in the days leading up to that terrible night. As investigators collected more information, they turned their focus to Melinda, Laurie, and Hope. Eventually, the girls were arrested and taken into custody for their involvement in Shanda's murder. The community now demanded justice, and the trial that followed would reveal many details about the events that led to Shanda's tragic end.
15-year-old Hope Rippey and 3 other girls admitted to torturing 12-year-old Sharer and burning her alive.
Hope Rippey and Toni Lawrence turned themselves into authorities today.
Sunday, police arrested 16-year-old Melinda Loveless and Laurie Tackett and charged them with murder.
18-year-old Tackett repeatedly told prosecutors she's forgot many things about the night.
A lot of times the failure to remember appears to be convenient.
I think they deserve to die the way they killed that little girl.
The trials of Melinda Loveless, Laurie Tackett, and Hope Rippey began in 1993. The courtroom was filled with emotions as everyone tried to understand why this crime happened. Melinda, who had been the leader of the group, claimed she did not intend for Shanda to die. She argued that her actions were influenced by her anger and her jealousy. Laurie and Hope also faced charges, but their responses differed. They expressed regret for their involvement, but the damage was done. The evidence against them was overwhelming, and the evidence presented during the trials included confessions, testimonies from friends who witnessed all of the events. The outcome of the trials was shocking to many. Melinda was sentenced to 60 years in prison, while Laurie received a 50-year sentence, and Hope received a 35-year sentence. Many people believed that justice had not been fully served, as they felt Shanda's life was worth more than the sentences given to the girls who took it away. The case drew national attention, not only for the shocking nature of the crime, but also for the discussions that it sparked about bullying, mental health, and the consequences of one's actions. It highlighted a reality that many people face in schools and communities around the country. Shanda's death left a deep wound in the New Albany area. Her friends and family were heartbroken and struggled to cope with the loss of a bright young girl whose life was taken far too soon. They organized memorials and awareness campaigns to honor her memory. The tragedy served as a reminder of the serious consequences of bullying and the importance of mental health awareness. Schools began to implement anti-bullying programs, encouraging students to speak out against bullying and to support their peers. While Shanda Sharer's life ended too soon, her story continues to have an impact. Organizations and foundations were created in her honor to raise awareness about the effects of bullying and violence among youth. Shanda's story is often shared in discussions about empathy, kindness, and the importance of supporting one another. It serves as a powerful reminder for young people to be mindful of their words and actions. The choices we make, even in moments of anger, can have profound consequences. We must learn to communicate openly and constructively, rather than letting negative emotions lead to harmful behaviors. As we reflect on Shanda's story, it's essential to remember the importance of kindness and understanding. Many young people face challenges in their lives, and a little compassion can go a long way. Shanda's life teaches us the need to support one another and communicate in healthy ways. We must create safe environments where everyone feels valued and respected. Bullying can have devastating effects, and by standing against it, we make a difference in someone's life and prevent future tragedies. In conclusion, The tragic death of Shanda Sharer is a story that reminds us of the serious consequences of bullying, jealousy, and violence. Her life may have ended, but her legacy continues to impact others. Let's honor Shanda by committing ourselves to spreading kindness, understanding, and empathy. Every young person deserves the chance to live a happy, safe life. Thank you for listening to Shanda's story, and remember to reach out to those around you. Together, we can make a change for the better.